Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good morning to my lecturer, Dr. Farida Abu Bakar, and to all my beloved friends of food technology. Today I would like to talk about biosensor. Are you ready, guys? Let's go. First of all, we will start by understanding the general meaning of biosensor. A biosensor is a device comprised of a biological sensing element coupled to a suitable transducer. Still don't get it? Let me explain it. Basically, there are three parts of biosensor. The first one is biological sensitive material, which is a part that incorporate with biological material or analyte. Also, in a simple way, we can call it as a receptor. Biological material will integrate with this receptor and create a specific response and send it to the transducer. The second part is the transducer. The transducer will receive a specific response from the receptor and convert it into an electric signal to be sent to the detector. The third part is the detector. The detector will convert this electric signal to a data so that we can do analyze. There are a lot of types of biosensor, such as electromagnetic sensor, optical sensor, piezoelectric sensor, microbial sensor, and other than that. But in this video, I would like to talk about similarity and difference between optical sensor and piezoelectric sensor. First, let us start with piezoelectric sensor. Piezoelectric sensor is derived from a word piezo, which means pressure or squeeze. So basically, piezoelectric relate to changes of mass or pressure, or in another word, mechanical stress. The changes of mass will be converted into a frequency using frequency converter. This will result in using piezoelectric principle, which is to use the change frequency of wave propagation through a piezoelectric material. One of the characteristics of the piezoelectric sensor is sensitivity to vibration and acoustic wave. So, one of the applications of piezoelectric in food industry is identification of adulteration of bovine milk. Acoustic wave is introduced through the milk by emitter, and piezoelectric sensor will detect the wave. Therefore, it can identify contaminants in the milk. To sum up, piezoelectric accept wave form of response created by change of mass and convert to electrical signal. Figure shown here is piezoelectric sensor and its part. Now, moving on to optical sensor. Optical, as you know, relate to light. Optical biosensor integrate optical technique with a biological element to identify chemical or biological process. Optical transducer use a number of principles, such as the effect of biological event on light absorption, fluorescence, refractive index, or other optical parameters. It can be used to determine the concentration of analyte on the basis of change in optical density and appropriate wavelength. This is becoming more interesting. Wait for it. Different than piezoelectric, there are specific optical to identify microorganisms called as optical microbial sensor. It based on optical properties such as UV vis absorption, bio and chemiluminescence, reflectance, and fluorescence. Optical microbial sensor able to detect the small change in refractive index when cell bind to receptor, which is immobilized to the transducer. It can be used in detection of contaminants such as metal ions, heavy metal, phosphorus, naphthalene, genotoxicant, and chlorophenol. As a conclusion, the similarity between those two sensors is 1. The receptor. Both of sensors use receptor to integrate with biological material or analyte And second one is the detector, which receive electric signal from transducer and convert it into data. The difference we can observe between both of them is for piezoelectric deal with acoustic or waveform of response through changes of mass or mechanical stress, while optical sensor receive light form of response, whether fluorescent, luminous, or light absorption. Secondly, piezoelectric cannot detect bacteria or microorganisms, while optical able to do that using optical microbiosensor. The third one is piezoelectric is used to determine mass, viscosity, density changes of the surface sensor, while optical can be used to determine contaminants in food. Okay, that's all from me. See you when I see you. Bye.